What are circadian rhythms? Circadian rhythms are clear 24-hour patterns in every form of life. Circadian rhythms are the reason you go to bed at night, wake up in the morning, and get hungry at certain times of the day. Circadian rhythms are naturally formed in response to light, but can be maintained when there is no light. Not only do our rhythms control our sleep cycle, but controls body temperature, blood pressure, heart rate, and releases endocrine hormones. Circadian rhythms are the reason you can feel like a different person at different times of the day. The master clock, or where it all happens. The master clock, or the suprachiasmatic nucleus, coordinates all the clocks in our body and cues in our daily lives, which helps us be more alert when we wake up, has our digestive system ready to process food, and helps our organs repair during sleep. Examples. A common example of our circadian rhythms in use is jet lag. Whether you are aware or not, you naturally have a cycle of when you are alert and tired based mainly on light cues, so when you are in a different time zone, your body would try to maintain its natural cycle, but the different lighting would confuse the master clock. Another example of circadian rhythms are why it's difficult to work a night job. Because one of the main cues is light, it may be hard to work a night job because you would be taking in or missing light at times you're not naturally used to, which would confuse the master clock. One more example of how our circadian rhythms work is a plant in complete darkness. If you were to put a plant in a completely dark room, the reactions that normally happen in response to light would still happen in the absence of light because of circadian rhythms. Cool facts. Your heart rate and blood pressure naturally rise in the afternoon because of circadian rhythms. Asthma, strokes, and myocardial infarction tend to happen at certain times of the day. Circadian rhythms will still happen over a wide temperature range. Circadian rhythms have most likely been brought about from adapting to the cyclic nature of the environment. Seasonal affective disorder. Seasonal affective disorder is a type of depression that takes place during the same months every year. It is more common to have a depression pattern linked to the fall-winter months, but it is also possible in the spring-summer months. How seasonal affective disorder relates to circadian rhythms. Seasonal affective disorder stems from circadian rhythms. Just like the rest of our daily routine, it repeats at a certain time. Seasonal affective disorder affects people at the same few months every year. Here is an interview with someone who has seasonal affective disorder.
At first, I thought I was just tired all the time, but once I was diagnosed, I began to realize that it was less of being tired and more of being very drained all the time and not really having any energy or motivation to get myself up or do anything. And it felt like the weather and the environment of the winter was weighing down on me. Some things that have been recommended or prescribed to me to help with seasonal affective disorder have a lot to do with light. One in particular, like a light box. It's just like a little square lamp that you sit by for like 10 to 20 minutes a day. Going along with that, if you can get outside, even if it's not the nicest day, being in the sun, even if it's not beaming down, will dramatically affect
The reason why the light box is used for treatment in the winter months is because it mimics light, and light is a main cue of circadian rhythms, which helps regulate your cycle and day. Overall, whether you realize it or not, circadian rhythms have a huge impact on us every day. They're the reason why we're even awake right now.